Okay, what's up? It's Z-Bubs here, and I just finished my first day of water fasting, and it was fucking cool. I did 6 liters of water at 60 sips per hour, 500 milliliters per hour. A little quick, a little slow at sometimes, but I started at about 3 p.m. It's now 2 a.m. I just finished my fucking 6 liters of water. Pretty awesome. So what I've learned from the day is, one, I might be insecure. So I lost a subscriber. I noticed that today I lost a subscriber. And recently, I got a new girlfriend, and I thought maybe it's her, and I was really worried. And then I thought, well, I have 45 subscribers now, so why would I think it's her? Well, she's the newest one, and she's, what was I going to say? She's the first one who confirmed it to me. The other two are in my mind. And, they exist. I kind of think they're my girlfriend, but I haven't really declared it yet. But she's the first one who's declared it, but I haven't been talking to her. So I thought maybe I'm a bad boyfriend. Maybe I'm insecure. Because I was listening to this thing by Osho, and he said, you meditate for 1 hour in the day, but don't meditate longer, because if you just spend all your time meditating, you're basically just preparing, but you're never actually living. So you have to actually live life, and meditation is just kind of the preparation for life. And I was thinking, I don't really want to talk to these girls who I like, except for one of them, who's my, who I won't even give her away. But, I was going to say she's my black queen. And that went pretty well, actually. And I really enjoyed that. But the other two, I kind of just wait for them to talk to me. But the other thing is that I'm also talking to them on these videos. So I don't really go to their videos to comment anything. And I just keep them in mind when I'm talking on my videos, hoping that they're watching, hoping that they'll comment. But I'm kind of talking to them, like right now, for example. Or talking about them to the general audience, but also them included. And so that kind of counts as me being a good boyfriend here. Maybe I'm insecure. I kind of think if I go to their channel, they might feel like I'm a loser. Like they might think, oh, this guy isn't actually cool because he likes me. Whereas if I talk to him, then it's like I'm getting a good deal. Like from their perspective, they're like, I have to talk to him. He must be really cool. And he doesn't talk to me. He's just too busy. And if he talks to me, then I might not like him. Because if he's interested in me, then I don't like him anymore, because I only like people who aren't interested in me. If that makes sense. I don't think that really makes sense, though. That's probably some kind of negative self-esteem type of thing. And I don't think I'd want a girlfriend who has negative self-esteem like that. So I think it's probably insecurity on my part. So I'm definitely thinking maybe I should talk to them more. And I think one of the reasons why I would suspect, out of all my subscribers, one unsubscribes, and I think, oh, it's my new girlfriend who unsubscribed. Oh my God, oh no. And I wanted to comment on one of her videos and say, did you just break up with me? But I think one of the reasons why I'm insecure and already jumping to that conclusion and feeling insecure and perhaps projecting about not wanting to talk to them and just waiting for them to talk to me is because I have a sort of attitude of self-improvement, which is actually really bad. Like in spirituality, you're supposed to accept that you're already perfect. You're not supposed to take it for granted that you're fucked up and you're trying to improve yourself. And so I'm kind of trying to improve myself here. And part of me has this grandiose idea of myself that I'm going to water fast. I'm going to get a 6-pack. I'm going to learn how to break dance or something like that. I'm going to get a huge rod from foreskin restoration. And then they're just going to gush, and then it's all going to work out. And so today I was realizing, what is this fear? I think the fear has something to do with the fact that I'm insecure, like I'm counting myself as not good enough yet, and one day I'm going to be good enough. And I think there's an endless cycle when it comes to thinking like that. Like people say, what's your number? what's the amount of money you need to have before you have enough? What's your number? And I don't know. Just today I'm having these conflicting feelings because for a while I just took it for granted that I don't really comment on people's videos except for my Black Queen. And that was kind of the testing ground to see if she was my Black Queen. And then once I found out she was, then I was kind of nervous. Like, oh, I don't want to fuck it up now. I better get really hot before I go back to her videos. So part of me was thinking, you should just talk to these girls. And what if they don't respond? Well, one, that could be really bad if they do respond, but the comment gets removed. Or they would respond, but the comment gets removed, and then I'm all hurt feelings. Wouldn't that be terrible? Because that can happen too. And then what's the remedy to that? Do you say, what's your email? Well, I don't really check my email. I don't have a phone. I mean, I have a phone, but I don't have a SIM card. I mean, I'm going to have to sleep on these things. I'm not making any hard and fast decisions about what to do right now. And hopefully they can watch this and they can see kind of the predicament I'm in. And so I'm going to move on to the next topic. I'm going to let this topic kind of simmer on the back burner of my mind. And foreskin restoration, pretty difficult. Going pee every 30 minutes. I peed literally every 30 minutes. And also, my headphones have some kind of wire messed up in them. So on the left side, it's like making feedback noise all the time, even when the headphones are not plugged in. Really fucking zanks me. Really fucking zanks me. These are my favorite headphones. And I think if I buy used ones, might the same wire defect. Why does... It's a interference, they say on Google, or it's something in the wiring has gone messed up. So I don't know, but I fucking love these headphones. I don't want to get rid of them. Quitting cooked food. How am I feeling all day? Yeah, pretty miserable. Pretty fucking bored. Sipping literally every minute with the timer on. Yeah, it was kind of rough. Going to the bathroom a lot. But I also realized the roughness of it is not the things that you think it is. You think it's you have to go to the bathroom all the time. You think it's that you have to keep sipping water. That's not really it, because I did question breaking the fast and just breaking the fast. I'd feel like a fool actually doing that in front of you now. And so this is helping me stay accountable. And I have a lot of momentum going. I do feel proud of myself. I made it to day 10 without cranking my pecker. Tomorrow's going to be day 11. I mean, it's a good day. And I feel fantastic. I feel fucking fantastic. And I've done water fasting before where I did it incorrectly. And by the end of the first day, when I haven't drank water at the proper pace, I'd be lightheaded. Every time I'd stand up, I'd feel kind of woozy. But my body definitely has enough water, enough blood. I feel very, very healthy. And I'm looking forward to going to sleep. I'm going to try to get enough sleep. And putting on my foreskin restoration device over and over every time after I use the bathroom. Plus, I had it stretched a lot, because you're at 3,000% growth hormone during a water fast. So I really stretched it to try and get the best bang for buck out of it. That was painful by the end of the day. So by the evening, I started to just put on less stacker plates. And I thought maybe I could sleep with a couple stacker plates in, which I normally don't do. I normally use 0 stacker plates, but I still sleep covered, if that makes sense. I still wear the device, but I just don't put any stacker plates in it. And maybe I can even sleep with the strap on, because the strap, like the strap on, not the strap on, it stretches as well, goes around your knee. And anyways, so that could be cool. I'm going to try to do that. I'm going to sleep with the stacker plates in, at least one, 24 millimeters, plus the strap. I probably got about an hour before bedtime. And, I'm thinking I'm looking better. My complexion, I actually feel like really, really hydrated. And so the difference is what sucks so much about getting healthy. You think it's the monotony of it. You just got to sip and sip. It's not so difficult to sip. You got to pee every 30 minutes. Well, when you have enough water, you can easily stand up without getting woozy. It's actually not so difficult. If you have to pee when you feel like fainting every time you stand up, it's pretty difficult. But when you feel fantastic, healthy, easy to stand up, no wooziness, peeing every half hour is not that difficult. What's difficult is you have to meet your emotional discrepancies. You have a lot of emotional things that you've been shoving down. Food is your medicine. You know, even if you smoke weed, your main medicine is food. Your main medication is food by a lot, by 1,000 times. And the culture, your whole history says otherwise. But when you come down to it, cooked food is your poison of choice. It's your most addictive drug, other than maybe thinking. And so what happens is you're sitting there, you're faced with your emotions. Like suddenly I'm like, oh, I'm a bad boyfriend. Oh, you know what? I'd like to talk to this girl, but I actually feel like it might go wrong and I'm scared of that. So I will just rather stay silent and just keep saying she's my girlfriend, she's my girlfriend. And meanwhile, I'll just be a fucking loser by myself. And I'll just be, on my grave, it'll say I had 5 girlfriends. And meanwhile, none of them even lived with me. Meanwhile, I never even had sex with them with my huge fucking throbbing foreskin restored penis, you know? And that'll be my fate. And so these issues are kind of coming up. Like, why are you so scared at all? Do you think the comment's going to get removed? Are you afraid of getting disappointed? Do you think if she dumps you that it's your fault? Would you prefer it? Like, could you still be confident? Like, supposing you have to knock on 100 doors and only one opens for you. Could you do that without thinking it's your fault for the 99? You know, could you, if supposing it does happen like that, supposing you're like forward, you know, you're chasing her, and she says, you know, I don't like you anymore. I only liked you when it was me chasing you. Would I be disappointed then? Would I say I actually played it right? I actually took a real man's blowout. I'm actually proud of myself. I didn't do it wrong. You know, I wasn't a bad boyfriend. I was a good boyfriend. She dumped me. She lost out on someone good. You know, could I be confident like that? And because the bragging rights, you know, of having girlfriends who can't dump you because you're never really together to begin with because you're such a bad boyfriend or you're just in a relationship in your mind, that's pretty awesome and you don't want to lose that. But if it's just you know, a house of cards to begin with, then that's actually more pathetic and you should probably risk, you know, getting disappointed. You know, could you really get disappointed? Could you stick with yourself as awesome? Like, could you say, I'm awesome, you know, I'm fucking doing this for me, you know, and if you don't get it, someone else will. Hold on. So that's kind of, and then what would I even say? You know, I'd probably have to watch their videos, make some kind of comment. You know, am I really going to say, hey, I lost a subscriber. Was it you? Did you break up with me? You know, do I really want to say that? Well, I definitely checked my subscribers for the first time to see. And as I found out, you can only see kind of rarely who subscribes to you. You know, as far as I know, maybe I didn't get it right, but I only saw like 4 subscribers. The rest are all mysterious, anonymous. So I also engaged a gang stalker today. I just talked to him. He just talked shit and I just talked shit. He was really clever. He was sneaky. They often have skull pictures as their profile, but he was into bands, a subculture where they all have skulls on their shirts. So he could say, well, it's not a satanic ritual abuse symbol. It's just that I like heavy metal music. And he had the same old garbage. It was just, bro, I guarantee you 100. Whenever someone calls you bro, that's a big red flag. Because they're basically saying, you know, I'm connected to dad is God, and I have the true connection to God, and I'm the mediator between you and God, and really I'm God. It's really a flex. When someone calls you bro, they're really saying, and I'm the big bro, and you're going to listen to me. That's what they're really saying. And it's always the same. It's bro, I guarantee you 100% no one's gang stalking you. I used to be crazy just like you, and then I took my meds, and now I'm fine. And that's called an isomorphic metaphor, and that's used, according to Richard Bandler, who is the inventor of NLP, to condescend people. When you use an isomorphic metaphor on someone, the response is, why is this asshole talking down to me? And the gang stalkers use a lot of NLP, and it's funny that they use isomorphic metaphors too, whereas the inventor of NLP would say that isomorphic metaphors are horrible. And anyways, so I think that about concludes everything. I haven't really went on any walks today. I did watch a little bit of uh, like booties on YouTube, like that kind of like just to see how I felt while water fasting. It was kind of cool. I'm more calm. Definitely more calm. And I could go for a walk, but just standing in front of the camera, just being outside. That's kind of what I like. I finished my water for the day, so I'm done drinking water. I'm probably going to be up another hour before I go to bed. I played video games a lot today. That wasn't really that fun. It was fun actually. It was fun, but I played till I actually got tired of it. And well, I don't know what else there is to say. Quitting cooked food is really difficult, really fucking difficult. And no matter how I do it, what I need to do to get my old crap out of my small intestines, the lower part of the small intestines where the cooked food gets stuck, I have to drink water, no matter how I do it, whether I eat fruit, whether I eat cooked food. I don't think I could do it while eating cooked food. It has to be, there's a certain quantity of water at a certain rate, and there's no escaping that fact. And it's going to be difficult no matter what. And because you think, well, just eat cooked food. You want it so bad. You just try eating fruit. That might be better. That stuff is not really the most difficult part. The most difficult part is drinking enough water at the right pace, which brings my consciousness level up and makes me more present with myself. And then I have to face the reality of my life, which is horrifying. And it's scary to say I'm actually going to try to change it, because what if I fail? And that's an old trope, but when you actually are at that point, it's scary. There's something, and it's not only just a fear of success and a fear of failure, it's actually going through it is painful. You're sitting there and you're like, why can't I talk to this person? I was blaming them, but now I'm starting to think maybe it's me, and I'm bored. Why am I so bored? I'm really antsy. I want something to distract myself. Why do I want something to distract? What's the meaning of my life? Why am I even here? Why do I keep going on? What's even the point of anything? These kind of feelings come up. Whereas when you're eating and you don't think of that kind of stuff. When you're drinking a milkshake, you won't ever think of something like that. When you're going to McDonald's, you're excited all day. You're going to go get a soda and you're going to eat some spring rolls. You're not thinking about these things. And so it comes up and it's fucking, it's painful. It's painful. And so the physical side is painful too. I have to give that some time to, I have to give that some airtime to talk about. It's, to fucking, yeah, it is monotonous sipping a fucking drink out of a measuring cup 60 times a minute. That's fucking a bit, but it's easy too. It's actually easy. I have to stick with it. The difficult part is you face your emotions. So on the other side of your boredom, there's fear. That's what I've heard, and that's kind of what it seems like. And so you have to move through it, and that's difficult. That's why we're all eating junk food anyway. We're medicating ourselves emotionally. So, anyways, really happy I got through the day. 6 liters, feeling amazing, not feeling lightheaded, not feeling drowsy, feeling very physically solid, and I think it's time to go to bed. Good night.